Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the greatest sports show on planet Earth. Sport in 60 minutes. Live on Favour Studios. I'm Femi. I'm great and excited to have you join us today. There's a lot to unpack, including the Olympic Games. Well, Team Nigeria is just getting started. To share this thoughts with me, I've got two great guys right here in the building. Francisca Nwobodo. Franny. I'm calling you Franny. I call you Franny. No, I just call you Franny.
Just call Siska. That's fine.
That's a great way to call you. Though.
Yes, call Siska. That's fine.
No, but Francisca Nwobodo, that's the name now. You must put the paparazzi. Francisca Nwobodo! How you doing, Francisca?
Whatever, I'm fine. I'm very well. It's all about the Olympics, so we are here to talk about it.
Okay, we're excited about that. Princewill Oviesan is also right here. How you doing today?
I'm good to go. We'll take the Olympic fever.
Always good to go.
Okay. We're also excited and packed to go through all the big stories coming through from the Olympics. We're looking forward to the action from the Tigress. We'll take you through our thoughts and more right after this. Welcome back. So we're excited to have you join us on Sport in 60 Minutes, brought to you live from Favour Studios. Francisca is still here, Princewill, and me, Femi. We're starting off from the Olympic Games, and there's been loads of reactions coming through in terms of Team Nigeria's performance. So I'm going to start off with Francisca because one story that has brought loads of great stuff from us, and you spoke about it, is the Tigress. They started on a positive note against all odds, against everything but Bele Princewill, and I said, they won their first game.
I remember the last conversation we had, and I said I will put my money on the Tigress than Super Falcons, and they did not disappoint. You know, beating the almighty Australia. We saw that game. I don't know if any of you watched that.
I did. So how I kept thinking was you. I'm like, goodness.
You can see the
I'm
power.
Going to be fried by
you can see the power, the energy, and everything. And also kudos to the coach. She's just 32. I'm talking about Rina Wakama. She's just 32, and she's been the first ever coach who, have defeated Australia in 22 decades or thereabouts. So the last time we had this victory was in 2004. And, her coming into, do that for me, I think this is just huge. I'm looking at the next game, which will be played tomorrow, hopefully. And even though yourself and Princewill, you have been saying, oh, they're not going to pass through the next stage. But with the girls that I have, the Azene, the what's her name? There's one Promise, yeah. And the other Amakama, whatever. Amakamara. Yes. Then the very smallish one that has the small body and everything. But we see the drama, we see everything about those ladies. You can see that they are ready and hungry to deliver.
Princewill, is she going to ever stop rubbing salt into her already hot body?
She has the day. She has the day. Well, that aside, I want to salute the resilience of the girls, the Tigress. I did watch that game, and in the third quarter, that was where I knew if we don't really gather our points, it will be difficult, because at the point in time, the Australian ladies, they're very tall.
We lost that third quarter, by the way.
Yes. And they were not having the free throws from outside the court. Well, for me, what I really want to say is that fantastic team being put together by Wakama. But do we have the mentality when we get to that grill of the final stage?
Well, I think that, look, first things, and like Francisca mentioned, I've got to celebrate their victory. I thought it was super, beating Australia, the third-ranked team. We're 12th out of 12 nations. We're the lowest ranked. Yeah. That was good. And what they did was they defended well, they were aggressive, and once they went forward, Azene Kalu ensured that her 3 pointers, all of it came in. However, that said, I think that we must always manage expectations. I always say we go to the Olympics to participate and compete, because nobody wants to go and fail anyway. My issue with the D-Tiger, and this is where it starts, Francisca. When you win, you now say, we will not leave empty-handed. What do you mean by that? That's where they put on X. What do you mean by not? Because my interpretation is that you are saying you'll come home with a medal.
That's what it means.
You think the Tigress can come home with a medal?
Oh, come on. Let's take it one game at a time.
Francisca,
let's take it one game at a time. The next game is about, it's against France. Let's take the game one at a time. But I am happy because at least
but you haven't answered the question.
And I just said to you, Femi, let us take the game one
Be
at a
affirmative.
time.
Do you think? Yes, no.
Because
Be
the
affirmative.
Tigress have posted on their social media page, we will not leave here empty-handed.
Be affirmative.
So
That
if they
word
are saying,
here meant-
if they are saying that they will not leave Paris empty-handed, it means that they have everything, in place.
They are determined.
They are determined.
We'll be here.
So,
No problem. You know what? We'll be here. We'll talk all about it. We wish them the best of luck, by the way. France tomorrow. Canada is the last game. And then we'll see how it goes from there. And we'll bring you all those details. Let's switch over to the next story. Something, pretty controversial. And the headlines have been everywhere. Late last night, we saw a post on social media, Instagram and X, from Nigerian athletes Favour Ofili. Now, Ofili comes forward to say, look, confirming she's been omitted from the 100 meters. Athletics begins tomorrow, the 1st of August, by the way. Now, she says, however, she's not sure she's been put in the 200 because she qualified for the 100 meters, the 200 meters, and was also part of the relay team. Now, from fielders coming through, especially the list on World Athletics, is listed she is in the 200 meters and the relays. Princewill, this has caused a storm in Nigeria. Fingers have been pointed to AFN, the NOC, some say World Athletics. Everyone is just talking about it. What's your reaction to all of it?
Let me come from the rear. Let's take out the World Athletics Federation. Yes, because they have nothing to do with us. It is the name we gave to them that they will definitely put on the 4.
Yeah.
It's quite unfortunate that we find ourselves in this very stupid drama. Permit me to use that word. The morale of Ofili right now is down, but that's not the way it should be, considering the fact that she has a task to accomplish. Well, AFN might have a reason for not actually registering her for the 100 meter, which I believe should have been communicated to her before she came on X yesterday. But that as it may, Nigerians generally are filled with drama. Are you aware that right now NOC and AFN have this issue of the official wear right there in camp? We're just filled with drama.
Yes. We'll get into that in a moment, but let's get Francisca's thoughts on this one, because I know listening to you before we started this show, you were very passionate about this conversation. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, first off, I will start with the management of Ofili. Sometimes
Francisca, when you want to hammer people, you will start slowly by climbing. So first, I'll start with the management.
No, this just brings me to the incident that happened between Finidi George and Victor Osimhen. Yes, I will not take away the fact that there were lots of, this, will I say, nonchalant attitude from AFM, maybe NOC, and any other person concerned about registering Ofili. But I also feel that it is something that she should have been able to manage. Yes, it is not easy because this could just be an opportunity for her perhaps to win a medal in that competition.
Yeah.
But I also feel that it is something that you can as well manage. Have you asked the proper questions? What happened? Because Princewill just said that they have their reason. They might have their reason why
Francisca,
she wasn't registered.
if I may ask, if you qualify, because the qualifying phase for the Olympics is very difficult. She qualified for those 3 events. Now, if you're going to remove me from one of those 3 events I have qualified for, there has to be some form of conversation.
Then at what point does she now realize that she wasn't included in the tournament?
Well, I'm assuming that from the post.
I feel that for me, if I qualified, I will do a continued follow-up. I'll be on your neck. What is going on?
No, you can't.
What is happening?
You can't,
because
Francisca.
it is you. No, because I feel it is you now at this point in time. But for you to come out, that's why I still talk about the management.
It is the duty of the AFN to keep furnishing this.
I understand, but you also know the people you are dealing with.
No, she was not anticipating this.
You and I know that the country we live in, it is where abnormality becomes
but you're
normal.
not going. No, but you're not. Look, so
but I will do a
Francisca,
proper follow-up.
Francisca,
What is going on?
If I may state, when she qualified, if you go to the World Athletics site, it is listed there she has qualified for the 100 meters, the 200 meters.
Then at what point was she not registered?
The AFN released a list. Her name was also put as the athletes that represent Nigeria in the 100 meters. Now, however, at the event, they're saying it could also be an administrative problem from the World Athletics in terms of the document that was sent, because the AFN said they've done their job. They've given the documents, right? She, however, is the only one who doesn't understand because she's qualified. I think the only person who would remove blame from is Ofili, because Ofili qualified. That's her job. Now, put me in for the event. Obviously, World Athletics will have to be told which event Ofili will enter for after qualification. And it's the 100 meters, the 200 meters, and the 4x100 meters. So while we're still trying to get who's at fault, we know that Ofili is not at fault because she qualified and she did her part. However, you spoke about prioritizing and also managing the energy of this athlete, because Toby is a clear example. Yeah. She's been removed or withdrawn from the relay 4x100. She's going to focus on her event only. Could that have been something else that was considered while making the decision?
Yes, that's why I'm saying that the technical department of the AFN should be in a proper perspective to tell us what really happened, because they will be in a proper channel to know if Ofili was fit to run 100, 200 and the 4x100. So it is their own onion to determine which athlete is fit, even if you qualified. So if she was not registered for the 100, then there's a reason, and it's only AFN that can actually tell us the reason.
But was it right in terms of how they communicated the reason? Because for her to come on social media means that information has not been shared.
No, it was not right, because they've been in Paris for close to a week. Even they were on tour, as she should have been told, to prepare her mind and her state of preparedness for any of the competition.
Want to add something to this?
Yes, that still brings me to the fact that, to the point that it is still all about communication.
Yeah, agreed.
And I also feel that she too should have done her own proper follow-up. I insist, because social media.
If I may ask, Francisca, sorry.
Because we know that social media is a place where you just come, you vent your anger, and I tell people, see, learn how to manage situations. You don't just react to situation. You respond to situation. Have you asked the necessary questions?
Can I come in here quickly? A football team, if you're having a match tomorrow, nobody knows who is going on to the list. Even if we have some superstar within that squad, the coach knows what he wants. So it is the coach that will determine. You cannot go to the coach and say, "Coach, am I playing tomorrow?"
No, that's what I'm saying. Has she asked the necessary question why her name was omitted?
No, I'm sure that
she qualified for the event.
I'm sure that the fact that she's come on social media to express her disappointment, because someone must have informed her, you're going to do only the 200. Now I'm assuming, this is all an assumption. For you to tell me, Femi, you will not do the 200 meters, I will ask why. And I'm sure she must not have gotten the sort of answer. And because of the sort of emotions she's got boiling in her, she obviously went social media, which was the next best place.
Trust me, Femi, we'll get a follow-up on this.
All right, which we do get that follow-up. We'll bring you all the updates right here. I do think, and this is my opinion, that it will be a situation we'll resolve eventually. Now, this is not the first time Ofili has missed out on the Olympics in an event. Last time, following athletics integrity unit, in terms of number of tests to undergo in a year, they fell short. The AFN was blamed, and they also said monies were not sent to the athletes who were in the US to do it. So they went on to protest. She was part of those protests. I just do hope that she goes on and surprises a lot of people in the 200 meters and the 4x100 meters. Now, those are the two, or that's the contentious issue. Yeah. Princewill, let's go to the bits. A summary of what we've seen so far. We went for 11 disciplines. You sat down here rolling through the numbers over days. And you spoke about boxing, for example. Yeah. The boxers, all three got knocked out.
Yes. Very unfortunate.
For different reasons.
Very unfortunate. It takes me back to memory lane when we had the likes of Jerry Okoroduju, Bisa Wakwa, who, once you see them, you know they'll definitely get in there. Thank you so very much. But the hopes and aspiration of so many Nigerians, considering the fact that we have a stronghold on boxing, was actually put to rest. None of them qualified to the next round of 16, which was quite unfortunate. And within the few games we've been into, we've not been really at our best.
I've seen quite a number of boxing bouts. Olaito Olaore, his bout, I think that was the only Nigerian that got into the ring of the three boxers we took. Shemilore, she was disqualified, banned substance, yes. Mm-hmm. And the story confirmed that that she's been told by the IOC to leave the games village. All right, one other athlete was injured, so the three of them didn't make it through. I feel a bit disappointed because you spoke highly of boxing in terms of where we naturally can perform magic. Yeah. Now, beyond the athletics and the wrestling, you always said boxing was that X factor.
Exactly.
Where we've got something that could just happen. But beyond that, table tennis didn't do too well for us either, Francisca.
He didn't do too well, especially the game that Haruna Quadri played. I felt so disappointed because how do you explain the fact that you were 7 sets, table tennis, you won 3 sets straight against a 16-year-old, player, and how you managed to lose the rest of the 4th set? is what I really cannot comprehend or
You know
what
what
I
you did?
cannot understand.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
But you won 3. It was power packed, winning 3 sets. All you needed was just a set. So
That's
what
why
they
I'm
say,
asking you
at
to
some
watch
point,
the game.
at some point, I just told
Was there a
myself,
different reaction for you? Because
Yes.
when you're asking,
what was the reaction of Princewill?
I followed that game from the very first set.
Okay.
The first 3 sets, you saw a guy who was determined, who was focused. Now, when he got that 3rd set, the euphoria was there.
But this is someone who's captained a Nigerian team to the Olympics. He's
Agreed.
been there
This is
before.
not the first time you are
this is what I'm
playing.
going to. This is what I'm going to. You see, every game has its technicality. The young man who came back from 3-0 to 3-1, 3-2, 3-3 had a coach who was telling him what to do at every time. The guy was speaking Romania every other second.
Come on. There's no excuse for failure.
Hold on. There's no excuse for failure. But you see, there are some certain games you have people who will encourage you, who sees better. We don't have a coach for the table tennis team. We don't. There's no coach. The Romanian had a coach.
No, we have a coach. We do have a national team coach.
Yes, the national team coach, exactly.
Yeah.
But the Romanian team had a national team coach who was always shouting on that guy, telling him before the serve, he tells him where to take the serve to. I watched the guy's interview. He says his coach, kudos to the coach, that every serve he took, his serve, the coach was on spot.
There is no, I still say this, Princewill, there's no excuse for failure.
There's no excuse for failure, but you have somebody who was better than you technically.
See, sometimes we also talk about experience. Aruna Quadri is an experienced table tennis player. This is not the first time he's going for Olympics tournament. He understands the rudiments and everything about this game. I cannot understand
You met somebody who was better than you
3.
technically.
Come on, Princewill. It is 3 straight sets. You just needed a set.
But beyond,
you needed a set.
Look,
so what this means is that
you're not,
you just
you're
felt.
not, but again,
I understand the
are you
technicality.
Making, no, not the technicality. We know that even the greatest players, right, falter sometime on the world stage. Now I know that he's been there, he's done it, he's captained the team, he's beaten players higher than this athlete. But we even see the best sometimes falter. Simone Biles, the last Olympics, there was a lot of expectation on her. At the biggest that she failed, Usain Bolt. It's a great example. He's broken the world record and couldn't even win in his last Olympics. Who else? There's so many names I could think of in terms of those who have done it at that level. Oduaya Dekoroye.
Okay.
Everyone thought that that's Bout last time, and she was leading. One small mistake. I'm not in total saying that, okay, you're wrong and he's right. I'm just saying that I've seen big athletes also fumble when the odds were all in their favor.
So, are you then saying that?
I'm saying now that
it can happen to anybody.
It can happen. But then again, our favorite word, the word Princewill and I like using, the spirit of the Olympics. To participate.
So what it means now, continue to tour.
Continue to
tour with the national budget. That's what it means. Because if you are determined, Femi, it's like you are not feeling. Perhaps you didn't want to get. You are not feeling the pain.
I did.
This was something you won 3 sets, and give or take, even bad comes to worse.
Okay, I did. I'm not telling you what happened. You don't take my side.
Wait now. So the question.
I understand that the opponent had a coach who was telling him do this one, but we are talking about Aruna Quadri, who is an experienced player.
Exceptional.
He failed.
Okay, let me give you an instance. 4-3
against
the Russia. Did the Russian ever expected that we'll come back to score 3 goals and make it 4-3?
No.
So this things happen.
All I'm saying here is that remember,
keep making case for him.
No, we're not making case. We're saying we're saying that.
Let him continue to tour
No, what we are saying here is that
government fund,
what we are saying
taxpayers' money.
What we are saying is that if you're going to give stick to Aruna Quadri for this, it means you're giving stick to every athlete who's failed.
Absolutely, because
so that means even the Tigress, if they fail to win a medal at the Olympics, I'm going to expect the same stick from you because they failed.
I like that.
They failed because again, why
but they haven't failed yet.
No, what we're saying is that what we're saying is that
in anticipation
that they do not medal. In anticipation that none of our athletes in athletics medal. I'm expecting you to come in and roll through because again, it's always the way you're saying the idea of the Olympic Games
is to participate
and compete. And every athlete that Francisca, for as long as I've known you, I've never seen you go for any place or do anything with the mindset that I will fail. You go there with being optimistic that, look, while I may not be the number one, I'm going there to go and show people what I can do. And he's gone there, he's shown what he can do. Unfortunately, there's a younger athlete who, got the break. The same thing for Olajide Omotayo. He's been around the Olympics for a bit. This is his first Olympics. However, he went there and he faltered. Ofili Adam has been there before. She went there and she faltered. Again, she comes out on social media and there was a post she put on Instagram where she said the criticism Nigerians throw at these athletes is unfair. Unfair because a lot of these people are humans like you and I.
Come on. These are professionals.
These
are professionals.
As a professional, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that you must win always.
No, it is the same thing that you come on air and you don't do what you're supposed to do.
But you have days like that.
But not
you have days like that.
No, you do. Or
you
don't
have days. Everyone has days like that.
But in as much as you have days like that, you still try as much as you are still on camera, you ensure that people don't even know what you are going through.
You can't take away such
because
days.
That is the rules and regulations.
It's always there.
These are professionals.
No, but Francisca, that depends. For example,
so what it means that you cut every athlete who has gone with taxpayers' money, who has gone with
why are you so particular about this taxpayers?
Because it is my money.
Francisca,
my money is included. I pay tax.
Francisca, for example, Francisca, there's also a budget for sports.
But it is our money.
No.
It is my money.
It's not our money that using.
It is taxpayers' money that they allocate to this. So you can't just go there and perform
Francisca,
in a shambolic
I'm laughing.
manner.
She has not taken cognizance of the sponsorship that other organizations brings
Exactly.
together. Yes. So when you keep saying
Francisca, you're also not talking about, where there's a budget. The budget is not taxpayers' money now. Is it taxpayers' money? The Olympics budget is not taxpayers' money.
No.
Aside from the Olympics taxpayers,
what else? How did it? No, it's the police. It's the police.
They allocated?
You can say taxpayers' money for sports.
That's not true.
That's true.
They are being allocated. This money, where is it then coming? Where does it come from?
Where does it come from?
No, I'm asking you. I said taxpayers' money. So tell me where it's coming from.
Are you aware that the biggest generating revenue for Nigeria is oil money? That's where we sell, make money to fund our physical project.
Plus,
sport is
when you say sports is not sponsored by taxpayers.
No, there's sponsorship.
But you know what? Let's just leave it like that. We're just going to roll through some of the stories we've seen so far. Badminton, we've also been knocked out, right?
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate. We're looking forward to action for Nigeria against France. The next game of the group phase. Remember, Canada is the last game. The Super Falcons also have had their fair share of challenges, but one of the things we've gathered so far is there's more to come. Athletics, wrestling, weightlifting is also still there. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We'll let you into all the stories and hopefully we'll see how things turn out good for us. Any other thing from the Olympic Games? Nah, from Team Nigeria. So let's go for a break. When we come back, we'll go through more. We've got football stories lined out right here in Sports in 60 Minutes. All right, welcome back. Well, how rude of me. We spoke about Team Nigeria. We're not the only African contingent at the Olympic Games. There are quite a number of them, and we've seen some great performance. South Sudan, who are making their debut at the Olympic Games in basketball, they made history by claiming their first victory. It was some great stuff coming through. We also saw Fenta, that's in fencing, Mohamed El Sayed. Claims Egypt's first medal at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. Fares Fajani, secures Tunisia's first medal in the Paris 2024 Olympics. That was good stuff to see. I remember the Egyptian as well in fencing, who also was pregnant, 7 months pregnant, when she participated at the Olympic Games. It's been totally beautiful. It's been great. Francisca, you have always spoken of the joy in sports. When you see some of these milestones achieved by these countries, it just makes you feel that, you know what? Nigeria needs to have a lot of the, investments in sports.
Yes, I agree with you. And I also, the last time I checked to South Africa too, they have recorded a medal for themselves. So this speaks volume for me. We really need to do more in terms of Africa. My colleague, myself and her were discussing yesterday and she said, Team Africa. I said, no, don't tag it as Team Africa. Tag it as Team, maybe South Africa or Team Nigeria. However, we will still put it as Africa because it is African continent. And kudos to, the South Sudan's, basketball male team. Nobody saw this coming but they were able to, maneuver somehow and get result for themselves. I just hope that Team Africa will do something pretty well this period of the Olympics.
All right, so for those who don't know,
Team Africa.
Team Africa.
For those who don't know, South Sudan, just before the start of the Olympic Games, had big friendly with the US, or a big scrimmage, as they speak in basketball. And it took them all the way to the end, to the very last quarters. When it was 1 point, Team USA secured that victory. So we'll look to see more performance coming through from the Olympic Games. Let's move away from that a bit. Talk about Nigerian football stories. Great stuff going through. And I like to use the word great stuff because no matter how dire it looks, I'm always positive. The latest story is the under 20. Nigerians have clamored and the NFF has listened. Ladan Boso has been relieved of his position. Now the NFF is searching for a new coach for that place.
Good one. For the first time, I see NFF putting up an advert asking for coaches.
Well, second time actually. The first time was the Super Eagles.
For me, this is official first time. That second time was just it's a good one considering the fact that the under 20 category is a very sensitive cadre, developmental cadre. What sort of coach would they be looking out for? They've spelled it out, the criteria they need. Now, my own big question is, will the coach be willing to commit his time, his talent, to grow this group of young men at that under 20 to become world superstars?
I want to I have to reverse what you've said. Will the coach, right? Also, will the Nigerian Football Federation, will they be open for growth and development of under 20 football team?
Francisca, I do agree that there's room for improvement and we need that opportunity. But I always think that, look, developmental football is very important. A lot of our coaches, a lot of the NFF board always think results. We've never won the under 20 World Cup. We won under 17 record time. So what's the question in terms of how come we can't make that leap from 17 to 20? We've never won one. Why can't we make that leap? If we're good at under 17, a couple of years after. So that's a problem. We won the Olympics just once. We've gotten silver and bronze in other events, right? We're also not dominating under 23. Obviously, we know that by the time they get to the Super Eagles, we don't have that sort of team to dominate the world. So my big question is, get a football policy, stick to it. It's not win at all. I've always saying is that for me, it's not about win at all costs.
Now you are embracing what I've said.
No, that's what we say about the Olympics, that you go there to compete.
Okay.
When you compete, even if you fail, you take lessons on another way not to do something. And that's why when people criticize England, I'm always like, look, England have moved from nearly team to a team that gets to the final. They only just need that extra thing to leap to the next phase. And if they feel going for a world-class manager will get them there, then that's fine. So that sign still delivered. Let's go to the NPFL. This week, Benga Elegbeleye confirmed that deal with Sevilla. Now, at first, it was a bit cloudy what the deal came with. But recently, we've had improvements in coaching, that's coaching clinics. We've gathered there will be some form of developmental football brought in terms of coaching for young players. There could possibly be exchange. We may see more players going over to Spain to play in the Spanish side, Sevilla. But in all, when you hear the stories, are you thrilled by it? When you laugh like this, Francisca, you don't even me. I need to be confused.
Because that's
are you laughing because you are excited? Are you laughing because it's Lamba? I just gave you facts.
I'm sorry, pardon my manners, but you and I, we know the story.
No, I mean, I'm not together in this one.
We know
you are
the
alone,
story.
Francisca.
No,
I have given you a positive story. I love it.
You chew the story at
No, I give it for your opinion.
Because
my opinion is
we have seen a lot of partnerships happen in the Nigerian Professional Football League. And you and I just hear the partnership, but eventually how that partnership turns out to be, you and I don't know. So that brings me to, is it just all about signing partnerships? Can't we just
shows we're working.
What work are we doing? And we cannot maintain this relationship.
That's why nobody likes you.
No,
because the truth about it is that we just said, when you're talking about Sevilla now, it's done. The NPFL has signed a good.
We have also heard partnership where a TV, I don't want to mention name, where they said, NPFL, we be on TV live, spotted and everything.
But it was on TV last season.
How?
It was on TV last season.
Was it consistent?
No, the TV deal Francisca is talking about, she was a proponent of that TV deal. She loved it. And I was always telling her to come to me.
So when I hear this thing, we see, they should not always come. See, I think I have to be very open now. They should not always come and bubble us.
Francisca, let bygones be
Bubble us in a way that,
this dispensation,
let's clap for them.
This dispensation.
Sevilla, partnership. But something happened with La Liga.
No,
the same thing.
I was going to go there.
No, but Francisca, the last
so
regime,
we get to hear the stories.
Then
it was the
NPFL. This is the IMC. They're two different bodies.
The LMC.
Sorry, the LMC. Yeah. Right? This is the IMC.
League management body.
This is the IMC.
Organizers of Nigerian Professional Football League. So what is the difference?
Semantic.
No, it's not semantics.
Is it because we are good at, putting...
no, Francisca, I have no idea.
Position and everything.
Francisca.
It is still the same group of people who manages this same thing.
Francisca, I have no idea.
LMC, League Management Company, in charge of Nigerian Professional Football League. So you come to us and say, oh, we've signed a deal with Sevilla. What happens after you sign that deal?
Okay.
Please stop boboing us, I beg.
I don't agree with you, but you know what? There's always room for that. Let's talk about a very sad story. This week, the football family has mourned, the NFF especially. Emmanuel Iwanyawo, right? You all know the name, what it means, and the family, Iwanyawo National back in the day. And then Senator Ifeanyi Ubah also passed away at the weekend. Too sad story for people who've invested their time, their money, their efforts in Nigerian football.
Very unfortunate. Let me start with Big Gun, Emmanuel Iwanyawo. He rescued Spartan of Uri to Iwanyawo National. And you can count the number of players who actually went through that very fantastic team to play for the national team. Some of them went out. I still remember one of them, Benedict Okwagu. When we were chatting 2 days ago, he felt it and he told me, Princewill, this is a big loss. This is one man who actually invested his personal fund, who saw the need to take Nigerian football to a new pedestal. Though if the frustrations were there, but he never gave up. He still believed in the cause of the Nigerian goal. For Ifeanyi Ubah, I was part of those who actually witnessed when he brought West Ham United and they signed a partnership. In fact, funny enough, we were at Lekole Meridian until 2 a.m.
I left there earlier, by the way.
Oh, you left there earlier. Okay. Drama that very day. But that has it made 2 big losses for Nigerian sports. And I think it's going to take some time to actually close that vacuum.
You know what worries me about Nigerian football is that as important as these guys you've mentioned, the legacy, it doesn't outlive them. Now, when you go through maybe other clubs in Europe or in other Western world, and you talk about who created the club, who founded it, how long the person invested in, there's some form of history. Yeah. You mentioned Spartan. Iwanyawo National is what it changed to. It went to Heartland. I think they changed it back again to... I thought
it's
they changed,
not Heartland still.
Yeah, so it's gone back. I know they changed it. A few times I'm like, okay, you know what, just keep it as one thing. Right? Ifeanyi Ubah also started off, remember, games were playing, Navy was a big deal there. Yeah. Playing matches that they had their own stadium. There was the exchange program brought in Brazilians at some point. But again, the football philosophy, Ifeanyi Ubah is not in the NPFL. Ifeanyi Ubah has just gone down Nigeria football. I do hope at some point in future, we're able to get that sort of middle ground. There's the beach soccer. From one sad story to another. We got knocked out from the beach soccer 2024 AFCON.
In Morocco.
Oh my goodness. Mauritania.
Did you prepare for that tournament?
Francis, I won't ask you this question.
No, but did you prepare? What were you expecting?
Princewill, please give me something positive.
Like,
really, I don't know. Do you have anything positive?
I'm waiting for Princewill to give you something
to
positive.
Very candid with you, I had these high hopes when we got that victory coming from Mauritania down to Nigeria. I wouldn't want to blame the player because I want to believe that the environment...
Blame the coach?
Yes,
Abdullah
the coach.
Issa.
Yes, the coach.
He says it's the referee's fault, by the way. The referee made some questionable calls.
Why is it that when a team loses a game, the referee is
always
the final knock?
Yeah.
Someone has to take the blame, really. It's a Nigerian thing. We have to point fingers at somebody, and if the referee is the only person who can point at, that's
why I am pointing out the coaches. You have a team. You know what's at stake. You have the ticket. You've missed out for several years. You were leading 2 goals. Became 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3. That's when you should play Jose Mourinho.
No, but you know that in beach soccer, it's not that way. One. Two, we have not played international beach soccer for a very long time. So I'm saying that, look, I don't agree with him when he says it's the referee who made them lose, but I agree with him when he says, look, we're still in a transformative stage. We're going back to what we used to be. We dominated some parts of Africa for a bit, right? True. We know the Senegalese were always there. The North Africans were always good as well. But when we play against these guys, we hold our own. But this time, I thought the team was quickly put together. There's still a lot of work to be done. And for me, like I always say, give the team time. I know Francisca would never like this for me because she makes me feel like, I'm always making excuses.
That's the way I feel too.
Wow. You know what? All I feel nice for us to go for a break because that just knocks me off my feet. Let's head for a break. When we come back, we've got transfer stories to go through right here at Sports in 60 Minutes. All right, we've got to the transfer part. I like this part of the season because there's too many speculations. You can say Princewill is going to move to Real Madrid, which is a lie. You can say Francisca is going to
Barcelona,
which is also a lie. You can say Femi is going to Eimba, which is a lie.
It's possible.
And you know what?
It's possible.
We can spin this story around. But you know, there are a few stories that are true. We'll be starting first from a Nigerian story that is confirmed. Let's start with the confirmed ones. Kelechi Iheanacho. That's confirmed to Sevilla. Francisca, you must be excited about this because he's going to a league that he'll play football at the level of expertise or technicality high up there.
Yes, when I saw the story, I was excited. It's one thing for us to be excited, is another thing for the player in question too as well, you know, putting the towel. I remember, is it Chukwueze or thereabout also?
Samuel, that's his first name,
Samuel Chukwueze, and we're so happy. Yes, he did well too. I'm just hoping that Kelechi Iheanacho, coming from Leicester City, I was thinking he was going to remain in Leicester City, but you know, sometimes these clubs, based on performance and all of that, sometimes they just want you to be in the club and they give you an exit door. And this is what it is. Sevilla, it means that they see something in Kelechi Iheanacho. And I can tell you for free, yes, Kelechi sometimes might be that lackadaisical, you know, attitude and all of that. But trust me, each time he wants to give his best, he gives his best, both based at national level and also at club level. So good one for him, and I wish him all the best in Sevilla. You
know, it's just a bit funny. He's the second Nigerian to sign this season for Sevilla. Chidera Ejuke was the first Nigerian, by the way. And then we get the NPFL story. So there's a lot of good things coming from Sevilla that Nigerians are attaching themselves. So I like it.
Cool romance. Cool romance.
That's why they said they will sign more of your players. You know,
I don't.
You know,
you guys always have a way of getting an angle to this thing.
The whole thing is, you know,
Nigerians. Two Nigerians who are explosive. One, Ejuke, who's pretty quick, fleet-footed. Iheanacho reads the game.
Skillful.
Very skillful.
I know that Patty Daka and Jamie Vardy were ahead of him in pecking order in terms of Leicester City all through the championship last season. He wants to play first in football because he knows playing the Super Eagles in qualification for the 2026 World Cup, which mathematically we can still qualify. He needs to be right up there. And this is a league where Mbappe just moved to. This is a league where you've got Vini Jr., you've got Jude Bellingham, you've got Robert Lewandowski. He'll be up against this sort of players.
You've got Lamine
Yamal. So I think it's a great move.
Yeah.
Let's switch from that to a story that is not confirmed, Princewill, but there's been loads of speculations. Fingers pointed here. Chelsea planning a swap deal with Napoli for Victor Osimhen to come one way. Romelu Lukaku could go the other way.
It's very unfortunate that what the personality involved, I'm talking about Victor Osimhen, being involved in gossip story. Victor Osimhen is a big name. He did it pretty well for Napoli. I read what his agent said, that this is a man who scored 30 goals plus for Napoli and got the golden boots. So speculations of this magnitude shouldn't be around Victor Osimhen. The swap itself has not been confirmed. Even if Conte doesn't want Victor in his team, that deal has not been confirmed yet.
Okay. So you want to say something about this?
What
do you think?
Well,
not just about the move or where Osimhen should go to, because stay at Napoli, it seems as though the coach wants Romelu Lukaku as his first option. PSG, that deal didn't materialize. What should Osimhen do this summer?
Well, this is just, at this point in time, I am confused. If you ask me to advise Victor Osimhen, I'll just ask him, be at a place where you will have a playing time. You know, all of this thing came when last season he didn't really do well, and by the time they would put that amount of money on him, they didn't know that last season was going to be the way it's actually panned out. If he had known, perhaps he wouldn't have signed that deal, because as we speak now, he's stuck and he's even confused on where to go, whether to leave, to stay in Napoli and just take it the way things are, or what
Saudi
option?
Arabia.
An African, he's African's best player as we speak. Saudi Arabia, is there a level of competitiveness there? We should be talking about where you want to go.
No. I want Ronaldo to land.
Ronaldo, who has won Champions League, who has won.
N'Golo Kante is under a tussle of coming down to England or still stay back in Saudi Arabia. Top-notch player.
See, but you cannot. We are talking about African Player of the Year. You cannot be down.
No,
yes,
but
I understand the fact that
why must
maybe
he
because
be in
of
Europe?
money.
Because he's the African Footballer of the Year. Why should he be? I'm saying that players are still competitive. We saw the Euros. You mentioned N'Golo Kante, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Is it because we live in a country where anywhere you play, you come and play when it's national
duty? We just mentioned France now. Somebody just mentioned France. Yeah.
But would you compare Kante
Croatia
to
Marcelo Brozovic?
Yes, it's in Saudi Arabia.
What is the age range? How old is Victor Osimhen?
Excuse me?
Is he up to 30? No, is he up to 30?
No,
maybe the conversation will
because
change.
What's the name?
Because we are talking
Alexander
about people
Mitrovic.
who have played.
Alexander Mitrovic is not 30. What's his name? What's the guy's name? Milinkovic Savic who left Lazio. What's not 30?
No,
yet?
I'm not even going to that particular area. We're talking about football is all about two things: your prime and money. The way Osimhen is right now, where he has found himself right now, he's boxed up. He needs somewhere to go to.
Now, at this point in time, it's all about money for him.
He needs somewhere to go to. He needs a breathing space. Europe, no club in Europe wants to take him. Just get this fact straight.
Okay. All right. You know what? Let's leave Victor Osimhen's story. From what we hear, the agent has denied it.
Yes.
Said there's no swap deal. Right. But we also know that conversations are on. That's what the updates are coming to the Chelsea. Chelsea just seem to want to buy everyone. They confirmed the goalkeeper, Jurgensen. Right? Chelsea wants to buy Osimhen, striker. They already still have Jackson.
Chelsea where Chelsea is at the moment.
But we hear Chelsea are in conversation with Atletico Madrid to sell Conor Gallagher. Gallagher is going into his final year of his contract. I still think that it just looks like a wrong move for me.
That's for Victor Osimhen?
No, for Conor Gallagher. We moved on from the Osimhen. Osimhen is a great move if he goes there. But we're moving on to something else.
Well, I don't understand. Why would
it's a great move.
Considering the fact that...
Considering the fact that, no, I'm saying that, I was speaking of Osimhen. Osimhen going to Chelsea. Number one, that's the Premier League. And Chelsea is not a small club in the Premier League.
True.
Right? So the amount of followership.
Let's be realistic with ourselves.
Yes.
This season, with what you've seen, the players you've seen,
yes,
Chelsea put together,
yes,
do they look like
a
team
think so, yes,
that want to compete?
Yes, I do think so.
For the Premier League?
No, yes, I do think so.
Why don't you let the season commence?
While we're here, we'll talk about it.
While we're here, since we're here, we are here.
We will remain here.
So let me mention it. But let me mention it. Number one, Chelsea have brought in a new coach.
That's not true.
Wait, Chelsea have brought in a new coach, Enzo Maresca.
What do you mean?
You don't know what Maresca will do because even Postecoglou last season. Postecoglou, remember, also challenged last season. Chelsea still have players from last year. Nkunku was injured for most part. He's back. We saw what Kopama did last season. He's right there. Chelsea has brought in. Chelsea has brought in a defender in Adara Bioyo.
We should allow the season commence first.
Okay,
James is back.
Let us allow the season commence.
All right, so Chelsea are currently holding talks with Conor Gallagher. We gather the deal could be sorted out very soon. Prince, let's talk about Juventus. Karim Adeyemi, his father says Juventus will talk to the camp before any official bid is made to Borussia Dortmund.
Well, I always have this problem where some of these players, the parents come in between these deals. Fine, they're trying to protect their own interests, but I think he's also looking out for the son, who is a fantastic player. So let's just hope that the deal sails through because Juventus is a fantastic club with very strong pedigree. But I really hope that he could move.
They've also made some good signings this year.
Yes.
Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa.
Yep.
Moved over to Juventus. So yeah, we should look forward to seeing one or two more names coming through.
The old lady.
Yeah, that's what they call them in Turin. We'll look to see through all the big transfer stories. We'll bring you all the details. And then before the season starts, we're getting into August, right? So it means we've got a couple of weeks before the start of the new season. We will come here and give you our prediction for the teams that will finish in the Champions League places. I'm going to be watching my eyes very close on Francisca here because I know one thing for sure.
My prediction never goes wrong.
We'll see. We'll see.
It will not go wrong.
We'll also share with you as well our predictions in terms of everything to look forward to. The Premier League, Spanish La Liga, the NPFL. We'll talk about that one. This one, you must learn it because there are loads of action going through and all the other top leagues concerning Nigerians right here in the world. Okay, but before we go, we've got to give a big birthday shout out to someone very special to the house. He's, well, done great things. Let's say big happy birthday to Kennedy Ajayi. He's one of us. He's yet to do the needful. I'm going to state it. I'm going to state it. I know you guys understand, but I'm going to say it. But happy birthday. Many more years. Great stuff coming through to you. We right here at iRival Studio are saying, boss, we hail you. You sabi. You did try. But Princewill, you said follow me smile small now. Big up. I don't talk, say, I don't talk. I've already said what you wanted me to say. Big up. You were the one that told me to tell him that you've not said what yet. But anyway, we're iRival Studios. We're saying happy birthday to you. Many more years. Great things to come to you. And the best things in life to our boss and chairman, that's Kennedy Ajayi. We wish you the best of this year and many more years ahead. And also a big thanks to Francisca Nwobodo for coming through and sharing her thoughts with us. We'll keep our minds open for the Nigerian team. We must also say happy birthday to Elijah Adelaja, right? You cannot forget him. Sits behind the camera and then says great things and then does all the hand stuff to us. He too will do the needful. We believe in him. Princewill Oviesan, thank you as well for coming through today.
It's a pleasure being here.
Okay. Remember, you can also be a part of us. We'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts with us on our social media pages and chime in. Great stuff. Share your ideas with us concerning Team Nigeria and also the transfer stories. I'm Femi. Have yourself a great day, everyone. We'll catch you later on. But remember, go out, do great things. But above all, everyone, be safe.